Let's talk about this self-service gas bill that's moving through the legislature in Salem. Has a lot of you upset. It's House Bill 2426. It has bipartisan support, and it's already cleared a major hurdle by passing the House of Representatives on a whopping 47-10 vote. Here's what it would do. And there's a difference, by the way, between Oregon's urban and rural counties. In the state's 16 more populated counties, stations could designate up to half of their pumps as self-serve. They would need to keep at least one gas attendant on site to pump gas for customers who don't want to do it themselves. In Oregon's 20 other lesser populated counties, no attendant is required, meaning stations could go fully self-serve if they wanted to, but they're also able to keep attendants in order to keep customers happy for those who don't want to pump their own. Stations across the state, by the way, would have to charge the same price for the gas, whether you're pumping it yourself or having an attendant do it for you. Only Oregon and New Jersey require attendants to pump our gas right now, and after we asked for your thoughts on the bill, most of you want things to stay just the way they are.
We're calling for my husband and I. Neither one of us want to pump our gas. We're in our 70s, not that that's a big deal. It doesn't matter what age we are. I don't want to pump my gas. It's the same price as when I go anyplace else. But in Oregon, it's cold and windy. We don't want to get out of the car. Lazy, I guess, but that's the way it is.
Nope, that's not lazy. A lot of people feel that way. Another viewer named Deborah wondered about the 20 rural counties and people who don't want to pump their own gas there. Will they have to drive to an urban county to find an attendant? Well, during our discussion with Republican Senator Daniel Bonham of the Dalles this week, one of the chief sponsors of this bill, he said he's heard from several gas station operators in his neck of the woods who plan to keep attendants simply because their customers expect them to be there. Now, that's just anecdotal evidence, and there's nothing in the bill to require attendance in those rural counties. So to answer Deborah's question, if you live in a rural county and don't want to pump your own gas, you'll have to find a station that chooses to keep attendants to help you.
I personally think pumping your own gas is a really stupid idea. It takes away jobs. Yes, right now it's very difficult to find people who are willing to do those jobs, but I also feel like it's not going to make the lines any quicker than they are now. People have not done this. I don't think that people want to do this. I know I don't.
We'll see. I do. It's faster for me. But anyway, many of you, far more than we anticipated, apparently believe that pumping your own gas will somehow turn into a water gun fight on a hot summer day with gas going everywhere.
I don't think that they should allow pumping your own gas. I think that it should be continued to have the gas pumped for you. I don't want to stink like gas when I'm wearing a nice evening gown. I don't want to stink like gas when I'm wearing regular clothes. I think it's an awful idea.
Now, I have to say, I have spilled gas on myself up in Washington State, and that's not a good smell, so I hear you there. And how about this from Rob? Most all of the people that I've talked to about this like the fact that they don't have to get their hands covered in grease dirt from the pumps. They don't smell like gas and come winter standing in the freezing rain, splashing gas on my clothes and hands and smelling like gas.
And this self-serve gas thing is going to be a little complicated for many people. I can see handicapped people having an issue with it. I can see the elderly having an issue with it. Younger people who have to go to work every day and they're in a rush. And I just envision, fights starting at the gas tank there and people shooting gas at one another, and it's a mess, and touching those handles or have germs on them. They're not cleaned.
Well, I certainly hope not. That does sound quite bad. Now, I think there's certainly an argument to be made when it comes to folks with disabilities or elderly needing someone to help pump their gas. But this idea of gas being sprayed all over you or people shooting it at each other, it's kind of out on the edge there. For fans of the movie Zoolander out there, you know what I'm talking about, right? But anyone who has lived in self-serve states can tell you it's not as scary as many of you think it is. And don't just take my word for it. A viewer named Scott says he was raised in Oregon but moved to St. Louis a while back. My wife and I were a bit concerned about having to pump our own gas at first, but quickly realized it was silly to worry about it. In fact, it was so simple and quick that we came to truly enjoy it. He's back in our area now and goes on, "We are so glad the state is finally coming to its senses on this and hope very much this bill passes and is signed by the governor."
I support the pump your own fuel bill. Hope it passes. I just wish Yamhill was one of the rural counties that could go 100%.
And Kim says, "I think it's about time for Oregon to be able to pump their own gas. I'm not really looking forward to it, but the bill as written does give us a choice." No matter how you feel about it, we'll keep an eye on its future. I think it's going to pass easily. If you missed our segment yesterday, by the way, two senators on opposite sides of the aisle are optimistic about passing it this year. And as I said earlier, it's already passed the House and is waiting on a Senate committee referral. Once there, there'll be a public hearing and a work session before eventually going to the full Senate. They'll pass it. It'll go to the governor. She'll sign it, and there you go. If it passes, it will head to Governor Kotek's desk. I should say if, and then she'll have the final say.